Alright, so welcome back again. So in this particular session, we're trying to see how to access our API. So in the previous session, we learned about how to build an API, a simple API with Flask and JSONify, and then we'll be able to retrieve some things from the browser. So what are the various ways you can access your API? So the first method is that you can use curl, right, to access your API. You can also use widget. You can use your browser, which you have seen. You can also use request from Python itself, request package. You can also use other languages to help you to do that. Then you can use Postman and then Postwoman. So there are several ways, but these are the most commonest ones. So let's see them in action. So the first one is to use your browser, which is something like this, which we'll be able to access, right? So in case I pass in this, things fall apart, and I pass it here, like this, right? I'm going to get things fall apart. So that is using your browser to access your API. Very, very interesting. So you are giving your endpoint, then you're using your browser to access it. The second method is to use Postman. So Postman is a very nice software which allows you to be able to do the same thing. So you can have it as an app or as a Chrome extension, right? So you can just go to getpostman.com, then download it. So this is how it looks like. So I'm using the newest version, that is Postman Canary. So in this particular option, I can just create a collection, right? A collection is just to make your work easier. I can just create a simple collection. So I can just create something like the new API, right? Then I'll just give a simple description. So testing API endpoint. Then I'll create, right? So I'm going to create new API, something very simple. So if I go to this place, it's going to be empty. Then I can create a request. So to create a request, I just come here. Then I can just add a request. So the request is what I want to do, right? So let's give it as, let's say, testing Flask, right? Then I'll just create save to new API. So we're going to save it to a new API, and we're going to call it as testing. So if I click on it, now I'm going to see it at work. So let's close the old one. Don't save. Yeah, save changes. So this is going to be our new one that we have, right? We have our new API that we have. So it's here. You can see it from here, which is this one, right? I hope you can see it, right? If I click on this now, it's going to open it for us, and we can try it here. Perfect. So how do you work with it? So I can just go back and paste my endpoint here. So realize that our endpoint for our tutorial was this particular option, right? The same thing. So I can just copy this same endpoint that I have and then paste it inside Postman or Canary, right? I'm just going to paste it here. Then Postman makes it very, very useful. So in case you don't have a user interface, you can just use this one. So you just have different request methods. You have get, post, put, patch, delete, copy, head, all of these things here. So I just select get, then I paste in my API, then I'll go with send. So if I go with send, it's going to return the result in a very nice format for us, right? So sending request to, it's going to give us an error because our endpoint must end well, right? It must don't give us an error, page not found. So I have to change this one and send it again. If I send it, now it's going to send request. It's going to give me my result. Very, very interesting. So this is going to be the result that I have. So you can just change it from JSON to normal test, which is this particular test, or I can send it to JSON format, which is this option, or I can send it to XML, right? But our data set is in JSON, right? So it's better we put it in JSON. Very interesting. I can see it as raw, which is this raw. I can preview it, which is going to be like, in case I was looking at it inside a browser, a raw browser without Chrome or any of our powerful browsers beautifying it, and then I can see it in a prettified format like this, in which I can go in this particular option. Very, very interesting. So with Postman, you can do a lot of things. You can check for the headers, which is the information that was sent to application, JSON, the type and information. You can check for tests, can do some tests, can check for the cookies, there are no cookies, can check for the body of our data, which is where we are now. So with Postman, you can do a lot of things, and every of the requests sent is stored inside our history, so that I can see everything. I can just go back to them. So it gives you a lot of features out of the box, right? So Postman is the other alternative of using it. Very, very interesting. Now let's see the other alternative, which is Postwoman. So just go to your browser and go to Postwoman. So Postwoman is also another way you can also do that. So you can just paste in your URL that you want it to be, then you just give it like that. So it's actually a service. It's a service. that allows you to be able to do that, right? Very, very interesting. So usually it's usually useful as a web service. Very interesting. Okay, perfect. Now let's move on to the next alternative, which is going to be using our browser. So not using our browser, but using our command line. So I can just go with curl -i, right? Then I'll paste in my endpoint, which is this. Then if I go with this option, it's going to bring the result for us. So that is the next alternative, right? That is another alternative using curl. So if I go back to this, you can see it all. I don't know, it is too small, but I hope you can see it. So the argument is that you're just going to go in with this option, curl, and then this, right? Right, so that is how to view your or access your API with this particular option, right? Very, very interesting. So I can also do the same thing here. Is apply the name of the particular book that I have, which was Things Fall Apart. So let's call it as Things Fall Apart. I hope it comes. So let's put this as a string. Right, you can also do it in this particular format. So it was not found, right? That is a bad request. So we can also use this particular option to help you do that. That is a next alternative. So the next alternative can also use wget. So wget, and then I'll paste in my endpoint, which is the same thing that we had here. Then also going to give us our stuff, right? It's going to download it for us. So, but it's mostly recommended for you to use curl, right? We can also use wget, but it's going to save your data set. So if I come back here, it has been saved, right, as books here. Very interesting, right? But the recommended one is to use curl, right? Very interesting. Now let's see the next alternative you can also use. So I'll be going with Python to help us do that. So you can also use different programming language. So I'm just going to import request. Then I can also use request to enable me to do that. So I just go to request .get. Then I'll paste in my endpoint, which is this, right? Then I'll close it and I'll go with JSON. That's the format I want. So it's going to bring the same thing for us, right? So there are several alternatives. You can use curl, you can use request, which is this particular option, important request, or you can even use a different programming language. So let's try that one. So this is going to be with Julia. Julia is a very nice programming language that is like Python, combine the base of Python, R, C, Fortran, all of them together in one programming language. So I'm using a different language. So this was with Python. Now I'm using Julia, a totally different language. So I'm just going to go into using HTTP. Then I'm going to be using HTTP, which is totally different from Python, right? So APIs allows us to be able to interact with different programming languages, right? It doesn't matter the language. Once there's an access point, then once there's an exposure, you can have an access to it. So it's recompiling. That's finished. Perfect, that's finished. So I'm just going to create a simple response by R. Then I'll go with http dot request. And I'll pass in my method, so get. So the method I'm using is get. Right, and then I'll pass in my endpoint. So the endpoint is going to be this. Perfect, which was this. That is all, right? So I can just go straight away with this. Then when I close it, it's going to work perfectly for us, right? So this is using Julia, not even Python. So we're going to go to this particular URL and then find it for us. And I can actually view the results there. Perfect. So it has been able to give us our results. Very, very interesting, right? Our books. So this was how it gave to us the response, all of this information, this same information that we had, which is the header, which was the same information we had when we were using our Postman, right? We realized that we had some headers information here, which was all of this information. It's the same information that is being given here, right? Very interesting, right? And then I can actually go with r dot, or let's go with print line r dot status to see the status, which is 200. That means everything is working well. And print line, and just go with r dot maybe the body, right? So I can just put this one inside a string. I not spell it well. String. See what I did? String, right? That's going to bring it out perfectly. So these are the various ways you can access your API. So the first method is to use your browser, right? Using your own browser. The next method is to use, you can use Postman, which is what we saw here with Postman Canary. You can also use Postwoman also, right? Then you can also use Python using request with this particular option. You can also use Julia or any programming language that you have, their normal HTTP request format, which was this one that we did here using Julia. Right, we use HTTP from Julia, we requested it, then we were able to see it. And then the final one is that you can also use curl, right, CUL, to help us do that, which was this option. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and then see you in the next session. Stay blessed. In case you are not subscribed, one thing I forget, you can subscribe and then check the links below for some interesting materials and some interesting courses to help you master machine learning and then Python. Thank you, and I see you in the next session. Stay blessed.